Any questions?
Yeah, Ben.
Hey, Coach. Now, I know tomorrow you'll...
Yeah, first off, just congratulations. That's never happened since I've been here. You beat Ben to the microphone. So.
I know. Well,
It's a day of firsts.
Feeling a little quick today.
I like it. You were agile, you were quick, so it was good.
I appreciate the feedback, thanks. Obviously, tomorrow you'll get into the details once you watch the film. What was your overall impression of the defense today, which seemed to, even when Cordero was getting passes off, he was getting hit?
He was. I thought our entire team played with really good energy today, but our defense really set the tone, obviously. We deferred and kicked off, and for them to do what they did, to get them, punter ends up putting the ball down in 10, a lot of really good things happened. And I think we got some kids that won some one-on-one matchups. I thought Bo Calvert moving outside linebacker really made some plays there as Mitchell Agudi was flying around in there. We had a decent rotation. It was obviously a really hot day, so we had to play a lot of guys. But for the first one out of the gates, there's a lot for us to teach off of film, and there's a lot of good things that we'll be able to show off of film. So.
You mentioned the day of first season opening win for you, first non-conference victory for you. How does that feel? And also, I got to ask about the visor. What was I believe that's a new look for you here at UCLA. What was the thinking there?
The company that makes them. So I've always been partial to visors that company makes. So it was good that I got to wear it. So we're just excited as a team. I thought our kids came and played with great energy. They've been chomping at the bit since the season ended last year. We only played a 7-game season. I thought they had a great off season. They worked extremely hard, but you really don't know what you're going to get. There's an idea what you think you can do both in all three phases of the game, but until you actually play another opponent, you're not sure. So I think there were some really positive things that we could build on today, but there's also a lot of things we got to clean up. And you feel fortunate. I think we came out of it relatively healthy. We got a very formidable opponent coming in here next Saturday, so we're going to be right back to work pretty quickly. So.
And one other thing, the 1-2 rushing punch of Britton and Zach, how potent is that, and how much does that help you?
It's comforting to know there's not much of a transition between either of those guys. At times when we had Josh, we really relied on Josh a lot, and then it was awesome that we could get Felt in from receiver, and he started to pick it up. And then obviously Felt was a different type of weapon. And the way he's getting used in the NFL right now is a slot and a running back, kind of those other things. But to really not have to change very much because Britton and Zach are very similar in types of body types and the types of runs they can do. But I thought both those guys did a good job in the passing game today. They're 3-down backs, and it's when you play the schedule we play, we need to have multiple running backs, and I was really happy with how both those guys played today.
Dorian only had that one really big play in the second half. Other than that, not his best day. What does it say about your offense that you don't really need him to be a world breaker and you still win by a lot of points?
Yeah, I think every game expresses itself differently in terms of what you're able to do and not able to do. I think at times we saw a lot of too high safety, which allowed us to run the ball. They came out a little bit in the second half and tried to play some press man, and Kaz got a chance to shake it deep a little bit, and Dorian put it on him. So. He missed a couple throws today. We also had a couple drops. We're in our 2-minute drive, catch, and then all of a sudden that maybe is a different story. But I think our entire team's ability to bounce back off of bad plays and not let that play affect the next play was pretty cool to see. So there's a lot of film, like we said, that we can get a chance to take a look at, and we'll build upon that.
And then you had the blocked punt for a touchdown. You're getting in the backfield a lot against Cordero. How nice is it to have a defense that's so disruptive on defense and special teams, really?
Yeah, two separate units, obviously, but I think our punt return team did a decent job based upon what they were giving us from a protection standpoint. And then again, I thought our front played really well today, and it was good to see. Those guys have worked extremely hard. I kind of thought we were going to be decent up there, and it showed today.
Chip, on Zach's 45-yard touchdown run, just an excellent play as far as never give up and effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's relentless when he has the football, and he's always running with a great forward lean. Makes him very difficult to tackle. He's 220 pounds, but he's got legit speed. We've seen it. We saw when he was in high school. He's the same guy we saw. So we were just really happy when we were fortunate to get him last spring. And then what we saw through last spring in preseason camp is kind of what you guys got the opportunity to see today.
And now with Todd's defense in his system, he likes to run a lot of run blitzes and stuff. Did you think it was going to be a big game for him?
You never know. I mean, there's two things that happen when you live by the blitz. When you blitz, the band plays. Is it our band or their band? You know, so there were some gaps in there, and I thought our offensive line really did a good job at deciphering what they were trying to bring against us. So a lot of credit goes to those guys in opening up some holes. And then at times, because of how Todd does it, there's going to be one guy that the back has to make miss, and we were fortunate that both Britton and Zach did that.
Hey, Coach, two questions about two players. Jordan Jean-Marquis and Duke Clemens.
Yeah.
Duke didn't start. What was going on with him? And
Duke's in the
Jordan looked
rotation, so we just played 6 linemen, so you can't start 6 guys. So, but Duke played a fair amount for us, so he rotated in at guard with Neo and Paul.
How's Jordan? It looked like he only played mostly in the first quarter. Some special
Jordan,
teams.
from what I understand, it's fine. I thought he played a lot. I thought he did a really nice job for us.
What was what went into putting Offie on the first team?
Again, we rotated Paul, Neo, and Duke, so whoever started the game is inconsequential to us, but Neo's done a great job in the transition from moving from defensive line to offensive line. So anybody that played, every kid earns their playing time, and I thought Neo's done a great job. I'm really excited about him, and we're excited to see how he continues to grow.
Okay, another question
Yeah,
about your
how are you,
attire.
buddy?
Good. I've never seen you in t-shirts and shorts. Have you coached in t-shirts and shorts before?
Well, it's because you can, and that's the great thing about coaching in Southern California. So
Is this
we're
first
big
time you've
into
done
the
it?
science part of it. So from a hydration standpoint, our doctors recommended that this is the way we go today. So they didn't do it, but we did. So they said we could wear shorts because it was going to be 95, 96 degrees here in the Rose Bowl. So
I figured
it's
you
a good
figured some
thing.
scientific way about it.
It was good. It was hot out. I wouldn't go with the jeans like you did, but you
I
were in the
had
press
to.
box,
I'm a
right?
working man.
You're a working man. We're
All
going
right,
to talk
so-
to the bosses there and see if it gets above 95, can we put in a short clause?
Second thing, is it too soon to tell Bruin fans to get on the bandwagon? I'm going to write Bruin fans are on the bandwagon. Too soon?
You can write whatever you want. I've been very adamant about I can never tell. You're way smarter than I am, so I'm never going
But
to tell you what to write. So,
does this team feel special to you?
this team is a special team because of the people that are there. Now that doesn't mean that you can be a special team and get your tail kicked on weekends too. So, but the players that we have right now are really special. I mean, and it doesn't get enough credit. We have 16 kids in grad school. There's 18 graduates on this football team. It's a mature team. I think they're really disciplined in terms of what they want to do, and we've talked about since we got here that it's about books and ball, and those guys have eaten it up in the classroom, and they're starting to see the dividends on the football field. So they're great people, and I think they're great representatives of this university.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
Excuse me,
You
Lord.
got that.
It is that still. But with the running backs as good as
Yeah.
that you have, I mean, what do you need for Dorian to do on a day-to-day basis when he runs that offense?
A lot of it depends on what the defense is doing to you. So there were a lot of things in the first half where, you don't always have to throw it. I mean, we're running it and we're getting 10 yards at a clip. And maybe you're a bad play caller if you say, hey, we got to do this. You don't get points at the end of the game if you have a balanced system. We're equal opportunity people. I don't care if we gain 10 yards on the ground or 10 yards in the air. It doesn't really. So, sometimes you just see what the hot hand is, and at times there's a hot receiver, at times the quarterback is hot, at times the running back is hot. But I think when you discover something that works, our concept is always we're going to do it until you stop it. And if you take it away, then we have to have a counter for it, and that's the chess match that goes on within the game. But we don't sit there as a staff and say, well, we just ran 3 runs, 3 carries for 30 yards. Let's throw it now. Well, then run it a 4th time and see if we can get 10 more yards again. So that's kind of our philosophy. So we did not think, hey, we got to do this or we got to do that. It's at the end of the day, you don't get any points for being balanced. You get points by getting the ball across the goal line, and whether we run it to get it across or throw it to get it across, we really don't care. And there's going to be times where we're going to have to rely on Dorian throwing the heck out of the football. It depends on your opponent. The Washington State game a couple of years ago was like that. It was a shootout, and we threw it almost every down. And there are games like this where you have to be able to run it. So we feel confident that we can do both. But every week you're going to get tested to see if you can do both.
What did you see from Ale in his first UCLA action?
I thought Ali did a nice job. We knew what a great special teams player he was, and I think the fact that he got the blocked punt, doesn't surprise us. He's done it a lot in practice for us. I think he did some really good things, and then we were fortunate because of the day, the heat. We knew going in as a staff we're going to play a lot of guys. So Coach Pelham rotated a lot of guys at inside linebacker. Jordan was in there, Ali was in there, John was in there. Kane Madrano, I thought, did a really nice job in there. So we had a kind of a good rotation going on there. So I was just happy. He's a great kid, and he got a smile on his face, and plays football the way you want it to be played, so we're really happy that Allie's here.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, you're going to be focused on a pretty big game for next week, but
Mhm.
Thursday, Coach Mack is coming back at UNH.
Yeah.
Are you going to get a chance to check him out?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Sean a ton. It's you know, what he went through, you know, to have bladder cancer and to beat it is special. And he's a really special person, and it's he belongs on the sideline. So that'd be pretty cool that he gets back out there. So.
How you doing, Coach? How important is it for this team to start taking advantage of Allen's speed?
Yeah, Kaz is a weapon, you know, and I think he's found a home. We still play him a little bit at running back, and we have some packages for him. We didn't get into any of those today, but it was really good to see him. You know, obviously he was our kick returner today, but the ball got kicked out of the back of the end zone, so we didn't get a chance to return anywhere. Hopefully that he's going to be able to help us in the return game. And obviously he's a weapon when it comes to the passing game, so I was happy that him and Doran got a chance to hook up on that.
When did you make the decision to switch him from running back to wide receiver?
He's done both. You know, he practiced in both in the springtime. You know, and is going back and forth now. I think he understands what we're doing at running back. He's a really smart kid, so he can handle multiple positions. So, but he does most of his individual work at receiver because that's kind of new to him. So that part's been pretty good to see him do those things. So, and again, it's another weapon that we can get on the field.
Garber's got some time in the second half. How important was that to get him kind of going and get him some reps?
It was good for all those kids. There was a bunch of guys. That was the cool part about what it got expressed today in the game because of the scores, that we had a lot of guys that played their first college football game for the Bruins today. So that was good. I think we've got 10 to 12 offensive linemen in. We got a huge rotation on our whole defense. I think we were 10 deep at receiver play today. Josiah Norwood's a kid that's been just working his tail off, and has shown up a ton in practice and got a chance today to make some catches in some clutch situations and made some plays. And I thought Mike Ezeki, who transitioned to tight end, had made some plays and has done a really good job, in learning the nuances of the tight end spot. So to see him get in there and get some reps was cool to see. So, and we're going to need all of them, as the course of the season goes along. That's the biggest thing that happens to you is your depth gets tested. And it's good that right now we have depth, and we hope that continues as we go through this schedule that we got. So.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.